So here's an update on our F Avenue Northwest house. I have not been in here for 8 days. The last time we were here, we did a walkthrough with our electrician to go over the scope of work for knob and tube removal, I guess. Not knob and tube, but the knob and tube replacement. Show you a few things here on this house. So we pulled the ceiling down in this living room. It was pretty wavy. It was in actually pretty decent shape, other than it was really wavy. The plaster was. Person that lived in this house, they probably lived in here, I would say, for a long time, for like 60 years maybe. So there hasn't been a lot of owners in this house. It's kept very original. It just has never had any maintenance really done to it. It does have some new siding on the exterior and a new roof. Other than that, and furnace and water heater in the last 15 years. Other than that, there's nothing that's been done, paint or anything. So we tore the ceiling down, and part of the reason for that is access for new electrical. It is only a 2-bedroom home, and the 2 bedrooms are just above these 2 spaces, or mostly above the open ceiling here in the living room. The dining room, the master is above the dining room also, but the joists run this direction, so we can get new wires pulled into the ceiling. From the walls upstairs down in the ceiling. The dining room pulled across here to run down into the basement to get to the panel. The panel has actually been updated too at one point, but this was a house that was flooded in the basement in 08, so all the electrical had to be redone to get up to code. So that's part of the reason we pulled this ceiling down. We are leaving the old picture rail in all the rooms. We're going to clean up the plaster edge, put new sheetrock on, and we'll do another oak trim detail on the edges there to keep as much original woodwork as we can. The ceiling in this room here we pulled down. It actually had a roof leak. This is kind of a jut out from the house where the roof ties in to the side of the siding. Had a leak at one time. It was pretty bad shape. We pulled that down. That way we get new electrical in here too. That knob and tube was actually cut there. We probably cut it when we tore the plaster off, but update some of the switches where we need to. We are going to leave a little bit of knob and tube in some of these hallway 3-ways going upstairs. There's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done to get every little bit of knob and tube out of here. We're going to try to get as much as we can out just to make it clean. You can see there's some new wiring ran there already. We're going to update smoke detectors in here with wired in smoke detectors while we're pulling stuff apart. Ceiling dining room is pretty decent shape. It does have the waviness in it. As you can see, it's got some water damage here from the chimney that leaked before the roof is done. But we can, a lot of this loose paint and plaster, we're gonna knock that loose, hot mud it, fill it, paint the ceiling, call it good. A few cracks in here we'll chase out with some, we'll V out and clean up, caulk, fill if we need to. These built-ins are absolutely stunning. I adore this house. This is probably one of my favorite homes I've been in. It's just got a lot of character. The person lived here, like I said before, hadn't done anything to it. They left it very original. It's got the old mirror there, kind of a back bar kind of thing. There's a piece of glass missing here, which I might leave the glass out. This will probably be a rental property. We've got some neighbors that are pretty interested in this house that have lived here a long time. They like the character of the neighborhood. And they've got some family that's looking for a place, so that might be an option for us. But our goal is, one of the comments on our YouTube channel, we don't get a lot of comments, but one of the comments was somebody called us flippers. So we are not flippers. Our goal is to buy houses that need work, to get them clean, safe, habitable, and get them back into a good quality of living for people to rent. We haven't flipped ever. We just like to have houses brought back up to speed, and we don't usually make a lot of money doing it. I mean, obviously if you rent, that's a bonus there if you get somebody in here to take care of the place. So here's the kitchen, the old chimney in the wall, the laundry chute. It went from the bathroom upstairs, had an access in the kitchen also. Trying to think of what all we're doing here. I guess we got a kitchen layout here we're gonna go by. The kitchen was probably 1960s, late 50s, early 60s kitchen. Pretty bad shape. There's no way to save it. It wasn't nice. It wasn't good at all. So This is gonna get a new kitchen, do some Craftsman style cabinets in here. This window is pretty bad shape. We'll probably put a new window in here, recase that window out, make it look original again. This back porch, I've probably shown some of this in other videos, but this is like an old cold porch. We're gonna put the washer and dryer here. On the main level, get out of the basement. The basement is kind of dungy, but it's decent. It's a lot better than most I've seen. There was a lot of, there's some lead piping still in here, at least lead drains. We're gonna update all the plumbing. This job is permitted, so everything will be done correct and inspected. Get some insulation back in these walls. The house is very well built. It's a very sturdy home. I like good bones. I don't like old houses, just for the simple reason of plaster and old foundations. I prefer to work on stuff, you know, 60s or newer, you know, with the typical 2x4 construction, sheetrock, things like that. This house has a lot of character. I really like this house. It's straight, true, it's solid. So I don't have as much heartache with this house. There's just a lot more that goes involved with plaster and knob and tube, things like that with age. You know, unlevel floors, uneven floors. Just a lot of stuff to deal with the older homes, but this one's kind of we kind of fell in love with it when we did the walkthrough, so that's why we stuck with it. Take you upstairs. So like this original door here with the mirror, it's just stunning at the original hardware. This closet, like, stuff was stored in this closet probably for many years, and it had some condensation build up, you know, probably had a pile of clothes or something. Or shoes in the corner, and didn't get enough air circulation, so it got a little bit moldy down in the corner, but that can be cleaned up and painted really easy. It's actually pretty decent shape. It's a nice house. That door is absolutely stunning. Stairs, all original woodwork. I mean, this woodwork is not destroyed. I mean, it's really good shape. The black stuff on the stairs is just old carpet padding stuck down. Really old carpet padding. I think our goal right now is for sure keep the original hardwood floors down here on the main level. They're really superb shape. You can't hardly see any flaws in them. You can see where there might have been a rug. You can probably actually see it better in video than I can in person. You can see a rug outline. There was a rug for many years until it was carpeted. I guess it was carpeted maybe in the 80s. So it's gonna be a real easy process to get these floors sanded down and refinished back to the natural look. We'll keep that, and I think our goal too is keep the stairs wood. I mean, they're actually absolutely stunning, good shape. There's a little bit of sag in a few of them, but they're structurally sound, secure. So we're gonna try to keep these finished wood as well. We got a few windows replaced. They're just some stupid maintenance issues. I think the plumbing vent leaked at one time, and there's a little bit of damage up there. We'll scrape that, skim coat that. Same thing in the hallway. And this wall, there's a little bit of bulge here, but we'll probably clean up some of these ridges, skim coat that out, paint it up. Whoever did some repairs in here definitely should not have done them. But we'll notch all this stuff out, pull all this loose stuff out, get a coat on it, get some paint on it. This stuff's pretty easy to do, just time consuming. You know, big sheetrock stuff's easy because you can just go through it and skim it out, but this little stuff is just time consuming because you gotta go through and clean it all up and prep it. So the oak floor stops here. It turns into a pine on the second floor, which is in pretty decent shape. But I don't know, maybe we'll finish the hallway in wood and do carpet in the bedrooms. I don't know. We're gonna consult with our foreperson first before we go any further. I mean, I personally like carpet in my bedroom, but you can always put rugs down too. Hardwood's a little easier to maintain, especially if you do have a tenant in the property. You can see electrician's got outlets. So that, like this room, for example, it had one outlet in the baseboard, which is, I think, what the electrician said was minimum. I think you had to have 2 minimum, I think, for rental code. I don't remember what he said, but we're trying to get 1 on each wall for sure. At least 2 to 3 in a bedroom. Like this is a master. This is a really good sized room. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy, but it's got this little sitting room in the front too, which would be a good place for like a crib or something. I don't know what people did with these spaces, but ceiling in here is good shape. It's pretty wrinkled, but you know, it's original. We're gonna paint it up, paint the ceiling up, call it good. This window here is like never been touched. Obviously, besides the glazing, it looks like dog poo, but we're not gonna touch that. It's got the screens on the inside. Pretty cool. There were some original sconces on here. We're saving all the fixtures that were taken off, the original fixtures. There were some really cool globes. I'll show you those when we get down to the basement at some point. So for this room, we'll have a sconce, two-sided sconce. Actually, I lied. We're gonna take that one out on the side, and we're gonna prep everything for fans. Light switch, the old knob and tube. As much as I like those, you know, we want to make sure everything's safe. Those are probably actually safer than anything new on the market, but you know, just maintenance too. You have to kind of balance the maintenance issue versus keeping old cool stuff. You know what I mean? Adding a sconce in the closet, outlet there. Any wall that we're putting an outlet on that we can do double-sided, we're gonna do double-sided because it's easy to just punch through the back, put an outlet in. Wired smoke detector in the attic. This second bedroom here, pretty small. Sconce on the wall. We are going to eliminate that sconce. Put a switch in here for fan light. And the ceiling just doesn't have light in the ceiling at all. We're just trying to, like I said, we're trying to balance between making things user friendly and safe and easy versus, you know, I don't want anybody living here with a dark bedroom with a 60-watt bulb on the wall. So I'm trying to get a balance of new life in here, trying to maintain as much of the old as possible. That was another comment too, is like, you know, don't tear out the bathroom, keep it original. Well, get to a certain point, like there's lead piping, old plaster. I mean, this plaster on here, it's actually was tooled to look like brick, subway tile, but it was an old clawfoot tub. It was in really bad shape. It was ugly. You go back through some of our other videos early on, you can see that. And we do have to take this window out. We're gonna put a shower unit in, you know, a tub shower unit in. People don't want to take baths. If that's their only option in the house, people don't want to take baths unless they have to. We want to get it up to a certain standard. One thought on this bathroom is, you know, comments were, you know, keeping as much original as possible. You know, maybe as far as flooring, maybe we'll put some sub-white tile down the floor, or do some hexagon. You know, the old what do you call it? The sheet tile, the squares, the mosaic. Sorry, brain fart there. Do some mosaic on the floor, and maybe do subway tile up again the wall, up again on the wall. You know, up to 4 feet, just to give it some old school look, and then do a nice old school looking pedestal sink in here with a nice old school looking craftsman mirror or something on there. Just kind of keep an original craftsman look to it as much as possible, but yet getting it updated to where it needs to be. I hate taking out this window, but the window is it's bad shape. I mean, it's been painted, the woodwork's been painted already. This window's, it's single pane glass. It's just really bad shape. It needs to come out. But we still have that full window there. We'll probably put a new replacement window, excuse me, in that one. And of course that's painted trim there too, but kind of is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta get rid of the laundry chute. We'll probably end up putting like a pantry closet type closet in here for the bathroom. You know, a 5-foot shower closet here. That way if we do go with the pedestal sink, we'll still have plenty of storage for this bathroom. You know, instead of doing a vanity, we'll have space, so I'll make it look nice. Kind of interesting because the woodwork upstairs is pine too. You know, everything downstairs is oak, and you get up here, it's all pine. It's got the old school drawer pulls. Did have an issue in here. Medicine cabinet in here in the hallway, which actually this is a lot of good storage here too, but this would be for linens and stuff for the bedrooms. Anyways, fireplace, the chimney leaked at one point. There's no fireplace, but the chimney leaked at one point. I don't think it's recent. I mean, the plaster is really soft, but I don't feel, it doesn't feel moist to it. We just had a pretty big snow yesterday and some rain within the last week, so I don't think it's leaking anymore because the roof has been replaced. It looks like it's flashed pretty decent. We'll probably pull these shelves out of here, get that cleaned up, either take the plaster out, put some plywood over it, paint it up to match the rest of the ugly purple paint they had in here, or we'll re-sheet rock it, one or the other. But it's kind of cool. It's got the little sawtooth shelf brackets on it. You know, we're probably hand cut for sure. So I cleaned that up. Overall, this place is a lot less work than the other place I've been showing, the block and a half from here, but there's still work to be done. Just not as intrusive. This has the old chair rail, or the old picture rails in it also, but it's been painted. This window here, like we'll probably just keep these windows here. I mean, the glazing on them is pretty bad shape. It's a cool latch on there. We can always put some, we'll have to investigate these a little more as we get time. We gotta get the other place done out of there first, but I could probably put a nice replacement unit in here with vertical grids on it. Just do a pocket replacement in here, just to get this thing sealed up nice. We'll have to dig in that a little further, but it does have the screen doors over top. Super cool features, but it's missing hardware, like little hardware like that's gone, which I can probably still get that. We got a store here in Cedar Rapids called Emerson Hardware downtown. They have pretty much all kinds of stuff just like that. Old latches, old hinges, the front door downstairs. I had to get a new lock set for that. Not a lock set, but the actual key cylinder. And they had one in stock, and it just screwed right in. And changed the keys real easily. The old cylinder didn't work very well. It was stuck. I threw a new one in pretty quick. So that's kind of how it's going. In here, not a huge house. It's actually, I think, about the same square footage as the other house I've been showing. It just laid out quite a bit different. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, we got attic access. Haven't been up there yet. Electrician's obviously messing around up there. Might be a little tighter of a squeeze than we were thinking. I got my ladder here. Not sure how my ladder got here. And the guys must have left it here when they're tearing plaster off. Well, let's take a peek up there since we're here. Probably no light at all. I don't have a light on me. Let me grab my cell phone light real quick. Oh, there's an antenna. A pretty good amount of insulation, I like. It's put in pretty unevenly, but it is in. There's a bath fan shroud. Don't know why they shrouded it, but each their own. That looks pretty good. Cannot see the chimney. There's a couple different roof levels in here. Yeah, I can't see the chimney from here, which is literally, I think there's a gable roof line that protrudes on the back or something. I don't know why I can't see the chimney, because it should be right there. Maybe just down far enough on this back valley that I can't, or not valley, but the back slope that I can't see. Anywho's. So I guess, I don't know, we're not gonna come in here and paint the trim. A lot of comments on the YouTube are like, you know, keep it original, whatever. Well, we're not gonna paint the trim. We bought this house because of the woodwork. We bought the house because of the features, the old school stuff. That's all we got it. We came in, I mean, I think it was listed, I think we bought it, I don't know, $8,000 under asking price, because we paid cash for it. But you know, when you have an old house like this with lots of issues, you're not going to get funding. Certain people won't be able to get funding for it, and the other people that want to have stuff fixed aren't going to get stuff fixed because the seller does not want to put the money into it. So when you have a cash sale, it might be $8,000 under asking, but the seller doesn't have to do anything but cash a check. So here's a few examples of how little maintenance this house had done to it with the person. I mean, I'm not talking bad about anybody. Obviously, somebody that was here for a long time, was elderly and beyond probably the scope of getting things, you know, updated, and you know, they probably lived on a very fixed budget, fixed income, and you know, things were just not easy to do. So just dirty, you know, everything's just kind of just dirty. So we're Probably have to kill this. This entryway's in pretty decent shape for the most part. Other than this paneling was put on the wall, as we discovered. There's a big bulge here, and obviously when we deal with enough properties, we deal with many properties every day. It was a bulge from a plumbing repair or access, and instead of fixing it, they just put paneling over the wall. So we'll get that opened back up and get that cleaned back up and fixed the way it needs to be. I don't think we have to do any duct work in this house. I think we should be all right with most of ducting. As original, I haven't seen any asbestos insulation wrap or anything like that we need to worry about. So as long as you don't mess with it, leave it in the walls, no touch it, you're good to go. Down in the basement, pretty original. Somebody probably painted it back in the 50s or 60s with the old 60s, maybe even 70s, like the old yellow gold color refrigerators they used to use, a harvest color I think they called it. We might come down here with the stiff bristle brush, get some of this loose stuff knocked off. It's in pretty good shape though. I mean, you know, we buy houses, we try to buy houses with bones. This one's got pretty good bones. It's got like there's a vertical crack here that was fixed, but I mean, I'm not showing any bulges or any other dimensional cracks that would be worry me about anything foundation wise. I mean, there's a little bit of a hole there, but it's dry down here. We've had a lot of moisture in the last week and it's dry. That's good. House does not have air conditioning. We are adding air conditioning to the house. Nobody wants a 2-story home without AC in the Iowa summers. Get an AC unit here, kind of hidden in the back corner. This furnace is probably 12, 15 years old. 08. We're gonna have, this is 15, 16 years old. We're gonna have it serviced next Thursday morning. Be serviced and then AC put in. Water heater is probably 10, 12 years old. I can't remember, but it is a power vent. So it will have to be power vented again. We don't know the condition of the chimney and we're not gonna worry about it. So if you take out a power vent, put a power vent back in. If it doesn't work, we'll replace it if we have to. There's a toilet down here in a good spot, of course, right in front of the electrical panel. But having a second toilet down here during construction is pretty awesome because everybody can use the restroom. Electrician's getting some wires down here. A little bit of a drip going on here. I'm not sure why this is dripping. I know our water service. So the stack, there's some cancer on the backside of the stack. Kind of probably hard to see. But we're gonna replace the stack like we did in the last house. Get as much done as we can. Update on that so we don't have to worry about it. Get rid of there's a lot of galvanized piping in here. Old school galvanized piping. We're gonna eliminate that. Just throw some PEX in. It's only a bathroom and a kitchen. And everything's in this one wall. So, you know, PEX from there to here, water heater, and then over here. Pretty straightforward. You know, spend the money on it now, don't worry about it later. So, but the basement is pretty good shape. There's a little bit of sag. I think we talked about that before on this corner here. I think they probably had a support down here one time, probably rotted off. They cut it off, left it. We're gonna get a post in here for sure. The water main coming in, probably old. I think it's galvanized, original galvanized. We probably need to focus on getting that fixed at one point in time. Probably not this first go round. You know, if it starts leaking a little more, we'll address it. Because that's going to be a new service main from F Avenue Northwest into the home. New supply line from the street to the house. They usually bore those, and then I don't know. Depends on the company if they bore it or they trench it, pull some new copper in there, call it a day. This is kind of an old cold storage room here. I did have a vinyl replacement window put in at one point in time. Just gonna show you guys. It's got the old. Some of the old light globes from the old light fixtures in this house. They're stuck here on the shelf. Probably been here for 100 years. I don't know, it's got some old like wheat flower patterns and stuff on it. Pretty neat. These are cool, not as cool as the other ones. This one's blue. That one's pretty awesome. So we're gonna save all those, figure out something with those, maybe find a place and somewhere to reuse them. I don't know, maybe get them out of here so I don't get broke. Probably a safe bet. Trying to think if there's anything else to show you guys. You know, it's got some really old electrical in here. You know, the old conduit with the threaded boxes. You know, most of the stuff down in the basement's probably fine to leave, especially if it's in conduit. You don't have to do it again. I mean, just got to make sure everything's getting updated to code. As like I said, it will be inspected and it will be done correctly. That's the way we like it done. I'm gonna show you that front door real quick too. We'll get you some garage on the other. I think Drake did a video of the garage at one point a couple weeks ago. It's pretty neat. What was I just looking at? Oh, this old, like the old swinging door to the dining room. Used to be in here, you know, used to, back in the day. When I was a little kid, I think my parents had one in their house that, over on Highland Drive, that swung. Can't see where the hinge was on the floor, but this door is actually in the garage, in the loft. So the doors that were taken off are still on the property, which is pretty cool. So getting rid of the gas range, putting a electric range in. So this front door, it's pretty cool, old Craftsman style. I'll leave it as is. It's pretty rough shape. I mean, it's really not that bad. We're gonna leave it original. Old hardware. This is a new lock set bore or cylinder. I was able to go to Emerson's, just get a new one for that and screw it in. But my dumb ass forgot to put the 2 little screws back in on the back side of the plate when I put it back together, and I had them set on the floor, and I forgot, so I'll have to get some new screws for that. But they were stripped out anyways, just because it's, you know, 100 years old, so the new stuff on there. And I did tell the electrician to save all the old fixtures for us, but I'm not seeing the fixtures. They've been taking off the walls. So let's just hope they have not been thrown away. I'll have to get with them on that. That was my top thing, was getting all the old fixtures saved that came off the walls. Anywho's, love it. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be. Sorry about that. I just want to show a lot of details, go over some of the stuff we're doing here, and keep at it. Thanks for watching. We'll get back to you on the next one.